Deb's Big Backyard. I'm Deb, and now that fall is in full swing and the trees are turning all those pretty colors, I have become more interested in finding out what kind of trees I have in my neighborhood in Oak Park. So I organized a green block party and found out that they have a self-guided tree tour. I recruited my neighbor, John Seaton, who is a former manager of the Oak Park Conservatory, to lead it. We had lots of fun looking at our 39 trees and learning more about the 18 different species.
Those of you that have never noticed, this has called parallel veining, and it's very unusual. There are very few trees with that. This tree was apparently growing when the dinosaur was walking around the earth.
Then I wanted to find out the state of the urban forest in Oak Park, so I connected with Rob Spruill, the superintendent of forestry here.
The state of the urban forest is pretty good. I know residents are always concerned when they see trees coming down, but we have a pretty stable forest. We have about 18,000 trees in the parkways at any one time, and we have over 100 species represented in that 18,000 trees. The village for a number of years has had a green block party program available to residents that they can request for their block party. And in the past, that's primarily focused on zero waste, so promoting composting with your block party. But in the last year or two, we've really kind of expanded the program to offer a number of different options. So some of the village partners can provide programming on worm composting, information about regular composting, monarch butterfly gardens to native plantings. And this year we added an additional self-guided tree tour program where we utilize the online inventory to get you a list of all of the trees on your block per address, and then we pass that along with some laminated tags and some information that we gather from a number of resources, put that all together and deliver it to the block party captain.
So this is your hackberry, and it's an American native. It has very small fruits, and it does go this lovely sort of pale yellow in the fall.
So the village currently has a small active population of American elms and ash trees that are both dealing with invasive diseases and species. Dutch elm disease is kind of unique in that it can spread two ways. One is through the grafted root system between the trees, and then it's also spread by the elm leaf beetle that gets the fungus on it and then carries it from tree to tree.
There's a beetle came over, and it was known as the ash borer beetle, and has it's very bright green, fluorescent on the back.
Emerald ash borer came into the United States through Michigan from Asia in the early 2000s, and it's basically decimating the native population of ash trees across the country. Part of what makes emerald ash borer so devastating is that it doesn't show symptoms, or at least symptoms that most people recognize, until the insect population in the tree is extremely heavy. So the trees look well while they're continually getting more and more infested with these beetles, and then the transition from looking healthy to dead is very quick. Silver maples are not they're not planted anymore. They're not a preferred species, and that's because of some of the characteristics associated with them.
The problem with silver maples is they grow very quickly, and when they get to a certain age they can drop limbs even on calm days. So they're a bit problematical, especially for parks and parkways. But there are quite a lot of them on this block, and in fact I think 2 of them have just been taken down. There are only 3 deciduous cone-bearing trees in the world. Bald cypress is one of them. These are really interesting trees. They can grow in boggy areas, and you see them a lot down south on the edges of the bayous, and they produce interesting roots that come up and sort of bend over, and they look a little bit like knees, and they often call them knees. Tilia cordata, a little leafed linden.
The property value is $33. Stormwater runoff is $12. carbon reduction is $1, and electrical savings is $14. All right.
Beyond even just an aesthetic perspective of trees are beautiful, the urban forest provides a lot of benefits to the community as a whole. It's just categorically been shown over time that the cost of maintaining them and having them in an urban area is far below what the benefits are that a community gets, and that's why a community like Oak Park, made the decision a long time ago to have an actively managed program and promote trees, because they're great, they're integral to the character of the community, but they also provide a lot of tangible benefits to the residents.
I'm a tree hugger from way back, and this old American elm is a great friend of mine, but unfortunately it's on its last limbs. It's diseased and has about 2 more years to go before they cut it down. We've lost a lot of other trees here in Oak Park to disease and to the ash borer beetle, but Rob Spruill says that all those trees are being replanted and that our urban forest is flourishing here in Oak Park. I'm Deb. This has been Deb's Big Backyard. I'll see you next time.